Yep. What's up? All right. Coming in. Here we go. All right. Hey, wondering if some of y'all could tell me if you saw my post, my notice about going live yesterday, or you just happened to be on. If you could tell me, I'd be curious to know. Did you just happen to be here right now? Did you see my post yesterday about this? Anyone? Why does everyone just do the wave? That's so easy. Come on, give me some, talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Oh, man, I love stretching like that. Got a notification saying you're going live. Okay, so Anthony.R.Grant, you just happen to be on right now. Saw the post. Thank you. Outaset.art, I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you letting me know. I'm glad someone saw the post. Thanks for following. Thanks for following me. Outaset.art, thank you for that. Okay. Anyone else? Did anyone see yesterday's post? Or did you just happen to be here right now? Happen to be here right now? Right. I understand. Anthony.R.Grant, you just happen to be here. So Anthony.R.Grant, you didn't see yesterday's post, no? Did not see yesterday's post. Okay, thank you for Anthony.R.Grant. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I saw your post too. Okay. Fickiatus, if I said that right, Fickiatus, you saw the post, so that's great. So okay. Thank you for commenting, Fickiatus. Savjadeto happened to be here. Okay, thank you for Savjadeto. Thanks for telling me that. Okay, so I'm getting a sense that some of y'all are seeing the post. Some of you happen to be here. You're following me, but you happen to be here. I've been devoting every Tuesday to post that I'm going live on Wednesday. So, La Santha 817, we are listening. Okay, thank you for listening. I sometimes wonder. Anyhow, okay, I'm going to wait just one more second and then we'll get started. It looks like, as usual, it's filling up pretty quick, which is great. Here I am. Okay. All right. I'm like last week, I'm in a little bit of a hurry. I've got a meeting. My studio manager's coming by in a little bit. I have a meeting. And, okay. So, I will say that I do hope you get on my email list. That's the way to find out about all my stuff. I have people learning where's your work, what's going on. Get on my email list, and you'll be the first one to know about everything. If you go to howardsherman.com and you click on contact and you enter your email address and hit the black subscribe button, you can get on my email list. Hit the black subscribe button and you can join the email list and you'll know all this stuff. So you want to know about new art and this and that, I'm getting some questions. That's how you find out, okay? So today, I've been really busy. I've got a show opening in a week and a half, which is exciting. It's going to be in Houston, Texas. If you get on my email list, you'll hear all about it. Maybe you'll see it on my social media feeds and things like that. So that's been sort of the big thing. Been working on a lot of things related to that. Catalog and the logistics of shipping the work over there. No, Lasantha 817, fucking listen. Send me your email, please. I just told you how to get on my email list. If you can't follow a simple set of instructions, then you're gonna have a hard time in life. Okay? Anyway, so, and there's a link on my profile, by the way, to get on the email list. So you can visit my profile and get the link if you couldn't follow the instructions that I sent you already, which you heard because I know that you were on here from the very beginning I went live. Anyway, I am here to help. I am here to help, okay? I am trying to help. That's why I'm doing this. No one's paying me. I want to help you. Okay. I did post last week's video on my website, so you can visit that and click on the live from the studio button and see all of the lives that I've been doing since the beginning of the pandemic that all contain a bit of information that will hopefully help you. They were meant to be helpful to you, okay? So that's why I'm here. Not just to show off my chiseled features and rugged good looks and my fancy wardrobe. Okay? You see my pants? See, right there? Okay. I'm here to help, not just to show off. Anyway, not just to show off my pants. Although if you want to see my pants a little more often, I'll be happy to show you. I'll be happy to show those to you. In fact, maybe I'll take a small fee for that. You can PayPal it to me. Okay, enough. I'm rambling and I'm really pressed for time. So what I want to talk to you all about today is a little bit different. Today, I want to talk to you about a book, a quick book review. A friend turned me on to this book. It is called The Art World Dream. It is by Eric Rudd. And I want to say, I'm glad I read it. It's a little bit dated, but there's still a lot of useful information in it. So I think it would be worth your time to read it. Okay? One more time. The Art World Dream, Alternative Strategies for Working Artists by Eric Rudd, R-U-D-D. Okay? There it is. If you feel like grabbing it, you should. There's a couple of concepts in the book that I want to talk to you about. Things that aren't really discussed much elsewhere in other places, but they probably should be. And it's actually stuff, as other things, it's stuff I need to remind myself of or subscribe to myself in one way or another. One of the big concepts of the book, which isn't talked about enough out there, is studio space and finding inexpensive studio space. But in the book, he also refers to a sort of sense of empowerment of our own studio space. And so to be more specific about that, Eric Rudd suggests finding inexpensive warehouse space and buying it and getting other artists involved. And so two things happen with this. You get economically empowered by owning real estate, and you build community, and there's strength in numbers. And sometimes you don't necessarily need to do this in an expensive city center. If you can get the right number of people together and find the right space, it can be elsewhere. And if you have the numbers, you have the right space, you've got the studio, you've got the place, you've got the community, and others will follow. I'm giving you a very simple overview of this because I haven't done it myself, and there are several reasons why I haven't done something like that myself, which I can get into later. I don't have a lot of time to talk about that today, but the concept is actually something that probably it happens, but it's never really talked about enough, and it happens in major metropolitan areas. But it also can happen outside major metropolitan areas where space can sometimes be cheaper. Now, the other reason I am talking to you about this right now, and it resonated with me a little bit more right now, more so than any other time, is because we're going through this strange, weird moment with the pandemic where it seems like a lot of real estate is going to be sitting empty and going unused. And even in major metropolitan areas like New York City, the prices might be dropping. Again, I haven't looked into this stuff deeply, but it seems like a little bit I'm reading about these sorts of things. Now more than any other time, it might be the time to tune in and think about that. So I think that first thing actually leads into the other thing that I just sort of wanted to briefly mention today, which is about building community and how you build community regardless of where you live. Well, this is one hell of a way to do it, buying up a rough warehouse space, turning into studio space, and then renting it out to breaking it up and renting out other units to other artists. That's one great way to build community. I've been a part of communities like that in Houston, and not so much in New York City, but I had the opportunity to do that in New York City. I think that's one way to build community. I think another way to build community is just individually reach out to people whose work you're interested in and start a conversation with them. In person is ideal, and that's probably going to be more important than ever as your social skills atrophy during the pandemic. But that's definitely something for you to keep in mind once this thing is over. And like everything else, it will one day be over. So keep that in mind. In the meantime, you can obviously do that sort of things to a certain extent virtually too. But all of this is going to require a lot more than sitting on your phone listening to me yammer. You're going to have to take action. You're going to have to get out there and hustle. So, again, strengthen numbers, build community. Essentially, building community is not that different than making friends, right? Because you make friends with people you have something of a common interest in. Anyway, that's it. I know, another short and sweet one today, but one other thing. I'm going to double back regarding the book. I'm grabbing the book again. I kind of cherry picked the big topic from the book, but I will say this about the book. There's a lot of other things mentioned in the book that make it interesting to read. He touches on building your career and community from right where you stand, whether you're in a small town or a major metropolitan area. All of it's of value and doable depending on what you want to accomplish or what your situation is. He mentions things in the book such as exhibitions, ageism, racism, all the different politics that go on in the art world. Nothing new. And in the end, it comes back to the biggest point in the book. And again, I think this makes the book still worth reading, is you should always be trying, this is important, you should always be trying to find a way to get back and focus on the work and setting up an environment that is conducive to that. It always starts and ends with the work, okay? So, get the book, even with its a few dated concerns. I think it's still a worthwhile read. Get the book, read the book, find good space, build community. That's it. I'm here now for some questions before I gotta zip off. And I really wish more of you would send me an email and tell me what you'd like me to discuss. And I'd like to know if you found these helpful. And if you have found them helpful, tell me why. That's going to help too. So send me a note. Tell me if I'm helping you here. And now, let's talk. Let's take some questions. Was this helpful? Yes? No? Okay, let me back up. And start scrolling through. I know it takes a second, but I'm happy to take some questions. No one, New York City. No one, New York City. Wow, that's the best way I've heard it. As your social skills atrophy, it's a great use of words. I think for a lot of people, it's actually the case. You know, you're spending so much time alone looking at a screen in your studio. You're not getting out in the world. Don't human beings need to connect with each other? You know, can you reach out to another artist and stand outside 6 feet away from him and talk to him with a mask on? It's important to keep your skills. Adaset.art, they're going to be open by appointment. Get on my email list. I'm happy to tell you about it. I'm going to post about that stuff too, if you're in the area. For some of y'all who aren't in the area, if you've been cooped up, what a hell of a trip, huh? To go see the show in person. If you feel like flying or driving, I don't know. I've heard the flying's pretty safe with the HEPA filters on the airplanes. Check the airline first. Added set.art. Hope that helped. Appointments. You can make an appointment to see it. By the way, I can't tell you this. I just thought of this. Add a set.art. I'll be doing a panel discussion with an art critic on live, in person, socially distanced, all the healthy, safe pandemic things. But I'll be doing like a question and answer, some sort of a discussion or talk or something with an art critic on September 26th at the show in Houston, Texas. Yep. Becky.upton.studio. I agree with you. People can help people. I was part of a artist-run co-op from 2006 to 2008, and it was actually, at the time, it was I mean, things changed and all that. I'm not going to get into it, but it was actually a really, really helpful way. I had just moved back after art school. I just moved back to Houston at that time. It was a great way to just plunge right into the scene, meet a lot of people. I lived and worked in the studio space in this giant co-op. We had events, and the public would sort of funnel through, and it was just a great way to meet a ton of people and show people what I was doing right off the bat. Not every situation needs to be quite like that, obviously, but all of these things, again, they require effort and work. So you got to be willing to do the work. In some instances, sorry, I was blowing on my screen because there's like dust on here. You got to be. Do y'all like that? Next time I'll charge you $1. What was I saying? There's different ways to do that. I think it's all very useful. Amagen.art. Follow me. Get on my email list and you'll find out all the details. Any other questions? I'm happy to take some questions. I'm here for you. What time is it? I'm here for you for another 7 minutes. So you better get busy typing. Happy to answer some questions. Poor Sauce, you're late. You got a question for me, Poor Sauce? Anyone? Let me see. It can be a little off topic, that's okay. But if you have any questions about what we talked about today, that'd be great too. Becky.upton.studio sounds very cool. Trouble is, artist-led can be difficult as artists really want to be working, but then when it becomes too official, sometimes loses the original vibe. Lame excuse. You want to move forward. You want to take things seriously. You make the time to do everything. You know. I look at it like this. You want to have good health. Maybe you want to have good health. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to, not have good health. But let's just assume that Becky.upton.studio, you want to have good health. Well, then you are going to make the time to exercise regularly 3 or 4 or 5 times a week, right? It may not be fun, but you got to do it. Think about it that way. That's another way to frame it. And I don't even know what you mean by original vibe. What's your intention? I know you want to make art and you want to get busy making art. We all want to do that. But what else do you want? What do you want? Becky.upton.studio. Everyone should send her a message and ask her what she wants and tell her to be specific. Underscore Amagen underscore art. Do you, not YOU, but the letter U. He thinks he's Prince. Do you think formal education in art is important for success? I don't know how you define success, so I really don't know how to answer that question. I don't really necessarily think there's such a thing as an outsider artist anymore. I think it's a dated term. It's now a marketing term. I think it was applicable at one time, but I think it's kind of hard these days to be sort of a outsider artist, which also implies like an uneducated artist. But I have my thoughts about the benefits of a formal education versus not having a formal education, and I think that some of that depends on what you're looking for out of success. So I hope that helped, because it was kind of a vague question, and so I can't give you that specific an answer. Anyone else? Any other questions? What's on your mind? I got 3 minutes. It's a couple things, as usual, that you kind of got to skip because there's just no way to answer them right now. Yeah, here it comes. Estra Lopons. Look at my website. My resume is on my website. Another question. I'm just stuff I'm gonna skip because I just can't. Adaset.art. I agree with you 100%. A lot of things are sitting empty, and a lot of spaces are ready to make deals. It's up to you, though. I mean, a real way to do it is there's not a real way. There's different ways to do it. You get a big giant space and divvy it up and build it out amongst a bunch of artists, and there's a lot of power in that. And then maybe you're the landlord if you can handle the whole lease. And then, there's also just getting the space for yourself. It depends on what your intention is. I mean, the book that I was talking to y'all about earlier, essentially talks about empowering yourself with property and numbers, right? I hope that made sense. Anyway, I think it's unless there's any final thoughts. I had to skip over a few of these, but I think I got some. I appreciate those thoughtful questions that were, useful, insightful. Any other questions? Okay, not that one, not that one. Okay, well, I think that having said that, we are going to probably call it a day. I would remind y'all I would really love for you to send me. I would really love for you to send me some emails and let me know if this is helpful to you and what you would like me to talk about. Okay. Thank you. I'll talk to y'all later. All right. Bye bye.